Hey, what's up, family? I'm taking you on a journey to quit my 9 to 5. If you are like me, you're going to want to stick around for this vlog. Now, I'm going to give you all a little bit of backstory on what my 9 to 5 is, what my business is, and how I'm using my 9 to 5 to help fuel my business and the lessons that I'm taking away in my 9 to 5 that is going to help me as I integrate more into the business of what I do. So background a little bit about myself. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology from Waynesburg University. I have a master's degree in conflict resolution from California University of Pennsylvania, which is called California, PA West California. I believe at this point, my 9 to 5 consists of working with homeless women and their children to provide housing, education, information, and resources. I work for an organization that is in the District of Columbia, and I am the program manager. So I pretty much run an apartment building, but not only run an apartment building, but also I have 25 clients that I look after with 2 case managers. One of my case managers is gone right now, but I do have one other case manager, and I am currently looking through some different resumes at the moment in order to hire another case manager that is going to fit well into the system of what it is we do at the organization that I work for. The reason why I want to leave my 9 to 5 is because I think going into the 9 to 5, it becomes a little routine and I become a little stagnant because I'm doing the same things every single day and not necessarily getting the results that I desire. Not for me, but for the people that I work with, because there are so many challenges in the homelessness system that is not even just in DC, but that is countrywide. This idea of housing first, where our clients don't have to do anything if they don't want to do anything. They don't have to go through case management. They don't have to go to the classes. They don't have to go through the workshops. They don't have to do anything that would translate to them getting better, that would lead to them living the life that they desire. And it's frustrating because many of them choose not to. There are some select few that do choose to grow, but there are many of them who just don't choose, the path of the path of difficulty, and much like myself, choose the path of least resistance. And choosing a path of least resistance, yes, is going to get you the ease of life that you want, but that moment is only temporary. And I think that's something that I realize, that it's not just a temporary satisfaction that I'm looking for. I'm looking for long-term satisfaction. I'm looking for something that's going to make me fulfilled. And that's the reason why I started my business. I am a speaker and I run a mentor program. I started this business in 2016, but I think the first couple years of starting my business, I didn't really lean into it the way that I should have leaned into it. And actually, I need to create content about the 10-year cycle of starting a business. This is my AI recorder. So my AI recorder is going to help me with remembering certain things, and then it's also going to give me some different content ideas. So when I click the button, it actually highlights this part of what I'm talking about, so I can remember this, and then it'll spit out a note to me when I'm finished, and I'll review the note, and then I'll just remember. So this is like my personal assistant right here. It's called the Limitless AI Pendant. They have different variations of it now, but I would definitely encourage you guys just to, go and grab one of these if you are a person who always has a lot on your mind and you want to remember things and you don't want to let things slip through the cracks. So this has been like one of the best investments that I've made as an entrepreneur. Well, actually that my wife made, because my wife bought it for me. So yes, you guys will get a little bit of that too. I am a husband. I have 2 children. So I'm trying to find this balance to everything. And it's interesting because Barack Obama recently had a clip that went viral where he said there is no balance in trying to build something of a certain magnitude. And so that kind of, I guess is a little bit worrying, but I try not to worry about that. But so I started speaking in 2016. I did it for the first couple years, and I was more invested in my work at that time that I was doing than I was the business. And once I realized that I was done speaking in Pennsylvania, the particular part of Pennsylvania that I was in, I realized that I needed to go to a bigger pond, a bigger sea of water, body of water, if you will, and become a big fish in an ocean, essentially, as opposed to being a big fish in a small pond, really small town in Pennsylvania, maybe 14,000 people in the town. And so I came back to Maryland, DC, Maryland, Virginia. This is where I am now. And I met my wife, and the business has really been growing over the last, I would say, 5 years. Like since the pandemic, things have really turned up, and I attribute majority of that to the knowledge and the information that I've gained. But not only that, the application of knowledge. Knowledge is only as powerful as the application. And so I started to apply everything that I had learned. I'm learning from some of the best speakers in the world. I'm learning from Eric Thomas, Les Brown, Miles Monroe, Myron Golden, Tony Robbins, Gary Vee, Inky Johnson. I am learning from Lisa Nichols, Trent Shelton. I'm trying to think of anybody that I can, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor. These are some of the people that I've listened to early in the beginning. Like these were the people that I listened to that kind of shaped my whole mentality. I quit listening to music early in this, and I only listened to motivational speakers and listening, and Dr. Miles Monroe, if I didn't say his name, but in listening to motivational speakers, they really shaped the way that I think and the things that I believe. And I said to myself, I wanted to become them, because I felt like I have a story that is similar to the ones that they talk about on stage all the time. And I think we all have a story that is worth telling, even if nobody listens or reads it. But I believe we all have a story that is worth telling. And so in 2025, I did really well in 2025 with my business. It was my first 6-figure year in 2025, and I believe this year we are going to do about 250,000. I think in 2026 we're on pace to do about 250,000 this year, and that would seem like that would be enough to quit, but there are some challenges that I have to get through before I can quit. So challenge number 1 is I'm trying to decide if I should retire my wife in order to allow my wife to do what she wants to do. And then she can also work in the business with myself and be my assistant. Is what she loves to do, is what she's really good at. And she's made a lot of claims that, she wants to, that she can and that she is willing to help. And so when there was a time where she was off for a little bit, and she did help, and she did a great job. And so I think that would be an ideal situation. So I know it's more pressing for her to quit her job than it is for me to quit my job. She doesn't want to continue to have to drive 2 hours every single day just to get to and from work. So that's number 1. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do that first, or if I want to retire myself first. Because if I retire myself first, if I quit my job before I retire her, so that she can do what she loves, then I can spend more time in the business and doing, more of the work, and then I can retire her just as fast. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best idea, what's the best balance. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any ideas or thoughts on that. And one of the other challenges is I got to get to a quit number. So I listen to a lot of entrepreneurs, David Shands and Donnie Wiggins. I listen to the Social Proof podcast. And one of the things that they have said, which many other entrepreneurs have said as well, but I think I accredit it to them because it was the most prevalent when I heard it from them, was you got to find a quit number. You got to get to your quit number. And once you get to your quit number, then you should be able to quit successfully. And for me, my quit number is if I can get to 6 months of all of my bills saved. I want to get to 6 months of all of my bills saved, because in 6 months I should be able to gain some stability in my business, and in which the income would be more predictable. And I'm going to go over with you all kind of like where the money and things like that are coming from. But I think if I can get to 6 months, that will allow me to do what I need to do, focus, go hard for 3 months and see where I'm at, take inventory at that time. And then if I need to start applying for new jobs to get hired in the next 3 months, then I can start applying for jobs to get hired in the next 3 months. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about that, because at the moment I am still, even though I'm working and I'm attempting for 2026 to be my last year working my job, I am still applying for new jobs. But I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more about that. But I'm everything in my business. I don't have any help in my business as of right now. I am the photographer, videographer. I am the editor. I am the strategist, the content creator. I am the speaker. I am the curriculum writer. I am the curriculum editor. Well, I have some friends that can edit for me. My wife is also great at writing, so she can also edit. But a lot of the thought processes, I pretty much do them myself. And one of my biggest challenges in this is that it's difficult to do this alone, and it's really difficult to do this alone. I'm gonna come back to that. But yeah, so currently, right now, I have some speaking engagements. I do some speaking engagements in town and out of town. And I also have my mentor program. We just wrapped up an 18-week cohort at a middle school here in Prince George's County. We are starting a new 10-week cohort in Prince George's County, and we are also starting, we're starting two, one 10-week and one 14-week. It would essentially be 14 weeks cohort in Prince George's County as well. And then I also have juvenile detention centers every single Saturday, which is about 2 hours away in Hyattsville. So there is some money that is coming in, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm balancing everything. And I'm using my CRMs, I'm using my email templates, but I gotta say my ambition is very bipolar. And I think this is probably going to be more of an accountability talk for the next 2 minutes, where I have all of these grand ideas that I want to put into play. But I think I need to start hiring people. But my issue with hiring people is, number one, I don't like to delegate tasks, because my thought is always, well, if they're not going to do it the way that I want it to be done, why am I going to hire this person? And so I have to get better at managing. I have to get better at presenting a clear vision of what it is I want. And even though I have tools and even though I have resources to do it, for some reason, I still don't do it. Like, I think that's one of the things that I think you might be able to relate to, as well is that we say, if I had this, then I would do this. If I had this, then I would do this. If I had this, then I would do this. And then when you get all of this, you still don't do this. And my ambition seems to be a lot bipolar. Even doing this vlog, the reason why I'm doing this vlog right now is because I'm watching a YouTube video about doing a vlog, and I think people will get into, they're talking about how people get into the interest of creating content rather than, being teachy or preachy. And so this is, this is my attempt at doing that and being consistent. But Jeff, I need you, and say your name right here. I need you to do the things weekly, even when you don't want to. Even when you don't want to, I need you to do the things weekly and show up for yourself. When you show up for yourself weekly, consistently, it's easy to build the things that you want. So my ambition is very bipolar. We are very up and down, but I think going forward, I think it'll help to do these vlogs every single week, because one of the biggest reasons I've mentioned that people don't have content to create is because they're not actively doing the thing that they say they're doing. If you're constantly doing and engaging in the thing you say that you do, then it should be easy for you to create content, right? It should be easy for me to create content if I'm doing the thing that I say that I do every single day, because I can just record myself doing the thing that I say that I do. But so yes, that is my business. I'm a speaker. I'm a speaker, and I have a mentor program. I have transitioned my brand, Backpack Jeff, into a nonprofit organization. The name of the nonprofit is the Winter Circle Youth Foundation. We have filed all of the paperwork, and I am super excited about that. And I am waiting for the paperwork to come back. So once the paperwork comes back, you all will get an update on that. I'm proud of my young men who have finished the second year of my program at the middle school, and I also help a lot of speakers. So this is where things kind of get a little bit, unclear, a little bit muddy in the waters, because I have this desire to speak. I have to continue to speak more. I have this desire to run my mentor program, but I also have this desire to teach people the same things that I'm learning, that I have learned in speaking, because a lot of people have told me that I have such great value and I would do great at teaching them. But now I have to create the course. Now I have to create the program. So what I did was I created a school community, but creating a school community requires me to create content for the school community. And now I have content for the school community. Now I have content for Backpack Jeff. Now I have content for the mentor program. And I think decision fatigue starts to set in because there are so many responsibilities, and there's only one person that is responsible for all of these responsibilities. Not only responsible for the responsibilities, responsible for the thought process of the responsibilities. I could do all of this stuff if I didn't have to also be the main source of the thought process. I think that's like the biggest challenge, is not only do I have to do all of this stuff, I also have to be the thought process of everything. And so I try to find ways that I can alleviate some of that thought process with using AI, with using automations, but there is still so much work to do. And I'm trying to find who my target audience is. But I had a conversation with a guy who is big in social media, and he asked me a very intellectual question as it relates to this. And he said, well, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to sell something, or are you trying to build brand awareness? And I said, build brand awareness. I want more people to know who I am and what it is I do. And I think that will translate into doing more business. And his thought was, well, if you are interested in brand awareness, then you need to talk more about what you do and show more evidence of what you do. So, okay, got it. Now, a friend of mine, who's my office mate, he's Christoph, him and I also started a social media marketing company, because I'm like, all right, I got to find a way to get easy money quickly and that will not take up too much of my time, because again, I know so much about creating content that people are like, okay, man, how did you do that? 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 And I'm like, yo, I can teach people how to create content too. So I am, as you guys can tell, I'm all over the place with this. I'm a speaker. I have a mentor program. I have my school community where I want to teach people how to be speakers. And then I also have this social media marketing agency. And you guys are going to see what this looks like. And then I also have the nonprofit organization, which is essentially the mentor program. But you guys want to see all of these things in play. And I think I'm building something special. I just want to know that I am building something special, and I have a lot of great results. You all will hear a lot of different stories, testimonials of the work that I've done with my daughter, the work that I've done with my younger brother, and helping him to transition from high school into college and then on to where he is now. And you guys are also going to hear a lot of the lessons that I learned along this journey. When people say you got to spend money to make money, they were not lying to you when they say you have to spend money to make money. And in the beginning, I've spent a lot of money and made very, very little, very, 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 very little. But I think it's about at about year 8 or 9 is when things really started to take off for me, and take off in a way that was financially productive. And so now I am working on quitting my 9 to 5. I got to get to my quit number though. But even before I get to my quit number, there's other things that need to be done. There are personal things that need to be done. So I am working on taking care of my debt. Over the last couple of years, I've racked up a lot of debt through credit cards that have been slowly moving, getting away. But I am, I'm still responsible and on the hook for a lot of those debts that I've made creating this business, because you have to invest heavily in this, in whatever it is you want to build. And I've invested heavily in what I'm building. And because I've invested heavily, it did cause a little bit of strain. I'll give you guys an exact number, but I think I'm probably somewhere around like 8,000 or 9,000 in that debt. But I've got some pretty big checks that are going to be coming in the next couple weeks, in the next 5 to 6 weeks. So every single week you guys are going to see me get on here, and I am going to I'm going to vlog weekly. I'm going to self-discipline myself. I'm going to pay down my debts. I am going to get my 6 months of all of my expenses saved. First, I need to track all of my expenses. I need to figure out what that is, all of my expenses. And I'm going to decide whether or not it's going to be, my wife and I are going to decide. I'm not going to decide. If she wants to be the first person to quit her job, or if I'm going to be the first person to quit my job. I'm going to take you all on this journey. I trust and I know that you will enjoy this journey. I'm going to be open, candid. Everything in Backpack Jeff's bag is going to be put out there for everybody, because I believe I'm not the only one who's trying to quit their 9 to 5 and work on their business, because they want to make more of an impact in this world, and they want to leave a legacy in this world. And remember, there are multiple parts of this business that are happening simultaneously, but the main business is the speaking and the mentor and the nonprofit organization. When I speak, it's the business. When I do the mentor program, it is the nonprofit organization. I'm excited for you all to join me on this journey. This is vlog number 1 of many. I'm going to introduce you all to my wife, to my son at some point, to my daughter at some point, and my dog and my snake. Loki is the dog, and Mambasita is the snake. They will be making regular appearances on here, but this is the journey. You guys will see some behind the scenes of the work that I do, and we will do a weekly recap on Saturdays to talk about what was done well over the week, what did I learn this week, what I'm going to do different for next week. And I'm excited for y'all to join me on this journey. Thank y'all so much. Do yourself a favor, hit the subscribe button down below, drop a comment if you are also working on quitting your 9 to 5 and living out your dream. Welcome to the journey of Backpack Jeff.